quite a historic event. It's small, very small, but for those of us who have been thinking about this issue from civil society side, we have succeeded to encourage some of the representatives of some of the main media in the world to agree to have a closed-door dialogue with civil society, and this is being done in partnership with our friends from IPS and Oxfam Novib. And there is, since this morning, a very exciting dialogue going on about how civil society can understand media better, media can understand civil society better, and how we can deal with certain gaps as well as opportunities that exist. And we hope that will be an ongoing thing. Secondly, for the first time, we are having a youth assembly. So 2 days ago, 66 countries and 150 young people have come together in the first CIVICUS Youth Assembly, which is something I must say was a personal ambition of mine when I started at CIVICUS many years ago, and I'm glad eventually we've been able to pull it off. And the vibe of that meeting is quite inspirational, I have to say. Young people definitely see the world with not only more romanticism and idealism, but also with the freshness that the current global realities actually call for. We are also going to be seeing a launch of something called the Poverty Requiem. It had a soft launch at the World Social Forum in Nairobi. The Poverty Requiem will be performed by 400 people singing in a choir tomorrow evening, just before dinner. The words of the song were actually put together by Sylvia Boren, the head of Oxfam Novib. I don't know where she found the spare time to do that, and it's already been planned to be performed in several countries. So tomorrow we'll see the global launch of that. We also today will be launching the global civil society survey. That is a culmination of 3 years of work. It's the main program of CIVICUS called the Civil Society Index, and it's been implemented now in 44 countries. And we will be launching the results and findings from that survey. I'm sure I'm going to finish. Oh, sorry. I said I was about to say I'm sure I'm going to forget something crucial, and then I remembered what it was. So, as many of you know, the way the war on terrorism has been implemented in many parts of the world, there's been a serious attack on democratic space. And there are many CIVICUS friends, partners, and members that are languishing in prison in different parts of the world. So we will be having a focus, as we did last year, on 14 of the civil society activists from trade unions, NGOs, and alternative media who are more symbols of the many hundreds that are in prison around the world. And so we will, there's something called prison bars. There's a sort of a prison cell that's been constructed, and there'll be various sort of events around it. And my colleague Julie in the back there, as these postcards that we are sending, which will be given to all the delegates for each of the 14 prisoners, and the delegates will be encouraged to send it to the heads of state to push for their release. So I don't know whether people remember the white band from the Make Poverty History campaign in 2005. That whole effort, CIVICUS coordinated, hosted the founding meeting of the global version of it is called the Global Call to Action Against Poverty, or GCAP for short. And Salil Shetty from the UN Millennium Campaign, the head of the manager of the GCAP, the Global Call, will be here, and tomorrow's luncheon plenary will be launching the plan of mobilization for 2007. Last year, the Global Call to Action Against Poverty did not get much media coverage for the work that they did to keep the momentum post-Gleneagles going forward. The last highlight of this assembly, which is new, is that for the first time we will have the BBC World Debate televised tomorrow afternoon, one of the plenaries of the assembly. In fact, it's a BBC World event that is taking place at the assembly, and that goes out 3 times on BBC World, 45 minutes slot, TV as well as radio. And the topic for that is aid working?